is music the only thing left that isn't divisive anymore? Because I see
it's totally divisive.
well, but when you talk about a fan group, because with my boss, with Alice, I have the most conservative and most progressive audience all in one room at any given time, at any given city, watching the show. Everybody dialed in to the music, dialed into the sound. So I'm saying in that respect, is it the only thing that we can all agree on if we like a certain type of music anymore?
Well, it has a very special, I guess I disagree with it because I've gotten into such brutal arguments about, you can get into an argument about which is the greatest guitarist in the Yardbirds with the Yardbirds fans, and it can get pretty heated. I think that I think music has a very special place in keeping society together, like comedy does, and that in part, we allow these two things to sneak up and we treat them as somewhat frivolous. But I'm very worried about this particular moment. I keep making this point over and over again, that I don't think the music of our age is the music of our age. I don't think that the music we're listening to now is what we're supposed to be listening to. I think if you think about what's going on in society, the inability of our musicians to figure us out and hold up to us what we can't see in ourselves. Comedy lagged for a while. I think comedy is catching up, but there was a period of time where comedians couldn't figure out how to tell a joke on a college campus without getting shut down.
Because, they had a hard time actually doing what they do.
Yeah, and I think, Joe Rogan sort of said that to me, that it was rough for a little while, and then it became the golden age as the best people started pulling off the William Tell shots. And I recently heard this song, young friend of mine, Sam Comfort, turned me on to Polyphia and this song Goat. And I just freaked out after a while. I mean, it was so beautiful and so fractured, and the virtuosity was sort of done as a throwaway. And you know the song?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
It'll blow your mind, I think. I hope. And in so doing, it reminded me, like, okay, well, this actually sounds like the music of my time. It's hyper complex. It's treated as if it's sort of in the gutter. I think it's filmed in a church, but it's dusty, and it's simple, complicated, virtuosic, and it's like the guys couldn't even bother to get dressed for the shoot.
Well, by the way, I'm happy you do disagree with me, because it is sort of a rite of passage. If I would have gone with a whole Eric Weinstein episode without you disagreeing with me, I'd feel something was wrong, and that's good. Because
sorry, I'm not trying. When I say I'm disagreeable, it's not that I generally think that music should bring us together, but I think that actually it is weirdly falling down on the job.
Well, I agree very much in that sense, where I've been thinking for a long time, especially with 2020, there couldn't be a better time for a new rebellious Sex Pistols or Guns N' Roses or Nirvana to come out. And the crazy thing is, this is what I was going to ask you about. There's a new song that I have. What's his name? Tom McDonald. I think that's what it is. Where did I have it in my notes right here? Have you heard Fake Woke or any of those types of things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
that's pretty direct. Yeah.
It's very direct, but I was expecting a Guns N' Roses, Nirvana sort of screw the system. I didn't expect it to come from a guy from Canada calling out both sides and then one side championing it as their own,
And but I would also love to see more indirect pot shots. Like, it took a lot of courage to say it, but the way in which I don't know. You know the old story about waist deep in the Big Muddy was actually about Vietnam and becoming entangled in Southeast Asia. There's a way of using metaphor and indirection in music that I think is incredibly powerful. The same way that High Noon isn't really a Western. It's actually about, like, the McCarthy era. In a weird way, one of the things about music is that it's not necessarily about what it says it's about. And, you know, I think about the way in which, exactly, you know, we're dealing with WAP at the moment. And, you know, is that more shocking than ZZ Top singing Pearl Necklace? I don't know. You know, in a weird way, the layers of indirection actually make things more shocking.